Unifor is, you may remember, it's now a merged new union. It used to be the Canadian Auto Workers and the Paper Workers, I think it was Paper Workers, Chemical and Energy Workers, but they have combined, and the new union is called Unifor, and it's the single largest labor union in northern Alberta representing energy workers. It's a major national union. Unifor intervened in this process. Well, if you take it as assumed by our national media that this project is great for jobs, you'll assume that Unifor intervened to say, go pipeline. Unifor intervened before the National Energy Board to make the case that if Kinder Morgan goes ahead, it will hurt Canadian jobs and cause workers within Unifor to lose jobs they now have. How is that? I'm going back to what I was saying earlier about how bitumen mixed with diluent will go along a pipeline route that goes to Burnaby, but it was built in 1953. Now, when the pipeline was initially built, it was built to reach 4 refineries in Burnaby. We used to have 4 refineries in Burnaby. There's now 1 remaining, operated by Chevron. And what Unifor brought as evidence to the National Energy Board was that since the Chevron refinery cannot process bitumen and doesn't have the billions of dollars on hand to build the upgrader so that they could process bitumen. I mean, by the way, the diluent arriving at any refinery, the first thing they have to do is take the diluent out. It's not something that constitutes a production upgrade. It's just a way of shipping a solid in a pipeline. So what's happened already is that Chevron has cut its workforce by 1/3 and reduced its production by 1/3 because thanks to the fact that Kinder Morgan has shifted a significant amount of its product line through its existing pipeline to bitumen mixed with diluent for export. There's about 5 Aframax tankers a week going through the Port of Vancouver now with bitumen mixed with diluent. It's exactly the same problem faced by a lot of sawmills in British Columbia that can't operate flat out because we're shipping raw logs out of this province to other places, and sawmills can't get enough raw material to put through their production line to keep local workers employed to produce things like 2x4s and finished product in BC. Same problem with shipping out raw bitumen. Chevron can't use bitumen, and the bitumen and diluent in the pipeline is keeping them from having access to raw material that they can process. So Unifor's evidence to the National Energy Board was if you approve this expansion, it won't just be 1/3 less production. The Chevron refinery will close down. We'll lose the last refinery in the Lower Mainland. We'll lose the last refinery in BC. We will not have access to petroleum products in BC at all unless we buy them back across the border from the US. Now, what did the National Energy Board do with Unifor's evidence? It refused to hear it. It refused to accept it. And officially on the record, the National Energy Board took the position that jobs and the economy were not within their mandate. Now, there's been no other regulatory process looking at the Kinder Morgan project, so no other objective arbiter anywhere has said this project is in our national interest or will create a lot of jobs. The only people saying that are the promoters. In fact, the total number of jobs that will be created by Kinder Morgan's pipeline expansion once the construction phase is over is 50 new jobs. But as Unifor made the case, more jobs than that will be lost. And shipping it out raw means we don't have the bitumen in Alberta to have the refineries there.